On the news, President Tinubu advises APC governors to remain servants of citizens. Ayedatewa Akeredolu's aides reached truce after Tinubu's intervention in Ondo political crisis. And federal government to review alleged bribery case against former Attorney General of Lagos State, Olasupo Shashiri. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Adigun. President Bola Tinubu has urged the All Progressives Congress APC governors to always put the interest of the people first and work for the good of their state. He gave the advice on Friday while receiving Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, the returning governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, and the governor-elect of Kogi State, Ahmed Usman Ododo, in Abuja, the nation's capital. The president expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the elections, which he described as free, fair, and peaceful.
We continue to work together. I can assure you, as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am very, very proud that our party was able to retain Kogi and retain Imo. 2 out of 3 is not a bad mark. It's now left for you to distinguish yourselves in this great opportunity afforded you. Don't take the people for granted. The people are the sovereign. We are just the servants of the people. And once you carry their great interests, are committed to their welfare, and as a trained accountant, particularly Ododo, that is just beginning, you will discover that the job is easy if you take the people along with you.
On behalf of the candidates who contested the elections, the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, thanked the President for providing strong and purposeful leadership at the center, which he said enabled and energized their campaigns.
It is our tradition that after we have received certificate of returns in an obstacle election like that of Imo Kogi State, we should come to officially honor him. The security agencies rose up to it, and more men and logistics were deployed by the various security agencies. And we had a level playing ground. And the election was not only free, fair, and very credible. Recall that never in the history of this country, in an off-cycle election like ours, that before midday or 2 p.m. the next day, results were already announced, meaning that INEC had the enabling environment to conduct their business.
The people of Kogi State appreciated my efforts, or the efforts of my government, and they just rewarded us resoundingly with their votes. And they know surely that the governor-elect, Ahmed Usman Ododo, has passed through the blast furnace. So he's well refined and ready to take up the challenge and build on our modest achievements. There is GYB administration, and I had nobody who dictated for me. Rather, we followed the law, the rules, and the people were satisfied with me. This is going to be Ododo Ahmed Usman's administration. So, whether good or bad, which I pray is going to be good, he will carry his own cross as well. So definitely, he has his own goat to contend with.
Right from the campaign processes, we have been consulting with our stakeholders, but because we believe that the mandate is for the people. And as such, we are coming to serve the people. We must consult with them. We thank His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the good he has done for the people of Nigeria, and specifically Kogi State and that of Imo State.
The factions in the political crisis in Osun State have reached a truce on Friday after a meeting brokered and hosted by President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. During the 6-hour resolution, President Tinubu urged all opposing parties in conflict to put aside their differences and embrace peace, eliciting commitments to this effect. The highlight of their agreement was that the political status quo would be sustained in the state. Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa was directed to submit an undated letter of resignation to President Tinubu to guarantee that he would maintain the political configuration in the state while he runs the government until the full recovery of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu.
We can but thank Mr. President for his fatherly intervention in the Osun State crisis. Tonight it has been brought to a resolve, and for us, we embrace all that have been agreed. We want peace in the Osun State, we want development, and we want progress, because when there is no peace, there can never be any form of development. So for us, we all embrace, because we have been a peaceful people until now because of our political situation, one political situation or the other. But today, we have resolved, due to the intervention of Mr. President, to all work together as a team. We have always been a team, one administration, that our principal have taught us in the last 7 years, one administration. And that is what we are going away with from here also, to work together as a team.
In Osun, the State House of Assembly has adopted the report of the committee set up to investigate the series of petitions written to the House against the State Chief Judge, Justice Oyebola Ojo. The committee, led by Komi Ajibola, the member representing Oriade State constituency, had reported its findings to the Assembly at the plenary presided over by the Speaker, Adewale Egbedu. Pending the outcome of the investigation of the National Judicial Council, the Assembly says that it would stand by its earlier resolution of November 17, 2023, which asked the CJ to step aside. After adopting the report, the House resolved that its certified true copy, including documents received as evidence, should be made available to the Governor for transmission to the National Judicial Council for further action. Still on the Osun crisis, former chairman, Nigerian Bar Association Section on Public Interest and Development Law, NBA Spidel Monday Obani, has advised judiciary workers against involvement in state politics. Speaking on TV360's flagship program, Obani and civil society activist Ayo Ologun agreed that the case of allegations of misconduct against the State Chief Judge, Justice Oyebola Ojo, should be left for the National Judicial Council, NJC, to handle.
The National Judicial Council that possesses the virus to exercise disciplinary measures against any judge, against any sitting judge, especially that of the chief judge. So I don't know what the matter is. If there is any misconduct whatsoever, or any fraudulent act, or any criminal act by the chief judge of the state, the proper thing is to ensure that the NJC is aware of that complaint, and they will investigate. You can't discipline. You can't listen. That has been the decision of the several decisions we have in the court, where it is stated that NJC must be made informed by whoever is complaining against the office of the chief judge. And the reason why this is the process is to not allow a situation where a judge should be intimidated, or where a judge will lose that independence that is very critical in administration of justice. That independence must be guaranteed at every point in time. So where the executive begin to interfere with another arm of government by way of suspension or intimidation, it will really erode the confidence that people have on the judicial sector. And so I think that the proper thing would have been for NJC to be informed of any misconduct on the part of the chief judge. But to be fair to the governor, I think he has resigned that particular decision of suspending the chief judge and have recalled him. But what I don't understand is the role of the union at this juncture, locking the woman out and trying to say that the woman cannot have access to her office. So I don't understand what is the position with regards to the union. If there is any complaint against women by the union, I also believe there are procedural measures, or method in order to, redress some level of grievance or injustice. The way they are going about it, blocking her and trying to attack her, clearly criminal, and then very, very primitive, and it's something that cannot be recommended. So they don't get commendation for doing this.
The national body of the Judicial Workers Union from Abuja are not in support of the actions of protest and picketing being carried out by the state branch of JUSUN, and that is where the intricacies are. Why is the JUSUN, that's the Judicial Workers Union in Osun, why are they allowing themselves to be used to settle what is obviously political? I'm not saying that there are no issues. I'm not saying that judicial workers do not have grant for protest. I'm not saying there will have been one or two infractions against them by the CJ or any other person for that matter. But the question would be, why this time? Why have they not cried out before now? Why are they allowing their voice to be added to the political hullabaloo that is happening within the judiciary at this time? It's quite unfortunate when unionists or those who are supposed to hold forth for the interest of their workers begins to allow themselves to be used as tools in the hand of politicians. It's unfortunate, and that is the unfortunate reality that we are facing within the judiciary in Osun State at this moment.
And Ikeja Special Offences Court has been asked to review the $100,000 bribery charge brought against the former Attorney General of Lagos State, Olasupo Shastore. This followed the recent judgment of a United Kingdom court in which the federal government of Nigeria won the legal case against Process and Industrial Development P&ID Limited in London in October 2023. During resumed proceedings on Friday, the prosecuting counsel, Bala Sanga, says the federal government had taken the decision having won the P&ID case, which judgment was delivered after 5 years of legal battle, which was finally decided in favor of Nigeria. He thereafter requested an adjournment as the prosecution awaits the outcome of the review. In preparation for the 2023 Convention on Climate Change, COP28, the Center for 21st Century Issues has organized a pre-event meeting with civil society organizations and multi-stakeholders to enlighten them ahead of the summit, which is to hold in the United Arab Emirates from November 28 to December 12, 2023. Speaking at the meeting, tagged pre-COP28 TSOs and multi-stakeholder engagement in Lagos, stakeholders expressed concern over inadequate funds to tackle devastating impact of climate change on Nigerians and Africans. Our correspondent, Comfort Samuel, tells us more.
The COP28 summit is of particular significance as it marks the conclusion of the first global stocktake, a comprehensive assessment of the progress made in achieving the goals of the Paris Agreement. Delegates, executives of industry and finance, as well as members of civil society from approximately 200 countries will be in attendance to chart the transition to clean energy future. At this summit, the importance of collective action to stop climate change and the critical role of finance in the low-carbon transition will be the focus. Speaking to Nigeria's contingent for the Climate Change COP28, the Executive Director of the Center for 21st Century Issues, Titilope Akosa, called on CSOs and multi-stakeholders to actively participate in the negotiation process.
In Africa, we are experiencing a lot of impacts of climate change, from flooding to different devastation, droughts, and so many other printable things. So it's very important that they know that there is a fund that can help us to recover from all these disasters. We want the the developed countries that have caused climate change to continue to live up to their commitment of giving funds for adaptation and mitigation, especially to those who are on the front lines of climate change.
Climate experts in the country therefore aim to create awareness on ways to mitigate global warming by sensitizing citizens on the need to reduce carbon emissions released into the atmosphere. They also analyze strategies on how to achieve net zero emission in 2060.
A lot of challenges, of course. By the side, the thing is worsening. We are getting more more extensive rainfall, the temperature is going higher, so the action is needed to address it. And it's been addressed in two ways. Mitigation is to try and reduce the temperature, and reduce the carbon that you are releasing to the atmosphere, and adaptation is to adapt to the situation.
Other facilitators who attended the engagement virtually said participation in the COP28 summit in Dubai will help investors and other capital market participants know what's ahead and back climate commitments with action. The speakers reiterated the role of media on capacity building to support adaptation to climate change, conduct and present research findings and recommendations to parties at different sidelines of the summit. Comfort Samuel, TV 360 News, Lagos.
We'll take a break here, but coming up, CBN Governor Cardoso says forest restrictions on 43 items resulted in $1.4 billion revenue drop. Stay with us for details.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Goto App. If you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. A quick recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has urged the All Progressives Congress APC governors to always put the interest of the people first and work for the good of their state. On behalf of the candidates who contested the elections, the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma thanked the president for providing a strong and purposeful leadership at the center, which he says enabled and energized their campaigns. We also told you that the factions in the political crisis in Osun State have reached a truce on Friday after a meeting brokered and hosted by President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. During the 6-hour resolution, President Tinubu urged all opposing parties in conflict to put aside their differences and embrace peace, eliciting commitments to this effect. The highlight of the agreement was that the political status quo would be sustained in the state. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store and Huawei App Gallery. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, Dissect it so that you can understand it. Use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DG360, dissecting the issues.
On business, Nigeria's central bank governor Olayemi Cardoso says the country recorded a revenue drop of $1.4 billion between 2015 and 2019 after imposing forex restrictions for import on 43 items. The Apex Bank governor made this known on Friday while delivering his keynote address at the 58th annual dinner of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria in Lagos. In October, the CBN had announced that it had restored the 43 items prohibited from access to the foreign exchange window in 2015. Cardoso says evidence has shown that foreign exchange restrictions had an adverse impact on Nigerian households and contributed to inflationary pressures. The House of Representatives Committee on National Planning and Economic Development has declared its commitment to steering Nigeria away from economic decline by implementing comprehensive intergovernmental and budgetary reforms. The committee, chaired by Isiaka Ibrahim, underscored the significance of a coordinated approach for sustainable development during its inaugural meeting at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. He expressed unwavering dedication to realizing their vision, aligning with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope mantra for the nation.
To enable us to succeed in this assignment, we need to strive and stride, tame the elements, subdue circumstances, be flexible and adaptable to the 10th Assembly legislative agenda, recognized and respected on the discharge of our duties. I humbly, therefore, request for your support and guidance, which will be critical in bringing about the positive renewed hope mantras.
The two committees to sit down, engage with the executive arm of government so that we can be able to think through the basic issues that are central to the workings of this economy and the challenges that we are facing and the way forward. And I think we don't have any option but to work together. To work together both as patriotic Nigerians and as members of the two chambers on whose shoulder, at least for the next 4 years, God has placed the fortunes of this country.
In international news, Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, has been seriously injured in a stabbing, United States media has reported. Chauvin was stabbed by another inmate at the Federal Correctional Institution in Tucson, Arizona on Friday. Sources familiar with the situation say Chauvin was in stable condition and was expected to survive. Chauvin, who was filmed kneeling on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes, was sentenced to 22.5 years in prison after being found guilty of murder and manslaughter charges in April of 2021. Well, up next is Entertainment Report.
Ghanaian singer and rapper Mohammed Ismail Sherif, popularly known as Black Sherif, has hinted at taking a break from music. The 21-year-old said he would further his education and learn cloth making after releasing his sophomore album. The rapper gained popularity in 2021 with his song First Sermon, which he released in May, and later featured Burna Boy in the remix of the song Squirrel's Second Sermon, which was released in July 2021. Rapper Shindidi Combs has been sued again for sexual assault for the second time in a week. In a lawsuit filed on Wednesday in New York Supreme Court, Joy DeCassigny claimed the rapper drugged and sexually assaulted her in 1991 and later engaged in revenge porn. Combs is also accused of videotaping the alleged crime and distributing the tape to others in the music industry. According to the lawsuit, DeCassigny is seeking unspecified compensatory damages for mental and emotional injury to her reputation. And that's all on the entertainment segment of News Now. Okpayemi Owoshini, TV360 News.
Finally, in sports, World Football Governing Body FIFA has confirmed disciplinary proceedings have opened into the football federations of Brazil and Argentina after a brawl in Rio de Janeiro's Maracanã Stadium delayed the start of a 2026 World Cup qualifying match. The iconic stadium descended into chaos as players tried in vain to get fans to stop the fray, while police fought back the melee with batons, leaving some fans with bloodied faces and other injuries. Brazil and Argentina teams risk fines as well as international home matches with partial or total closure of their stadium, the two most common sanctions. Well, that's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.